Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here. Welcome back to some more Starfield. This is going to be Friday's episode because you'll be seeing it on Friday. And then tomorrow we'll be back into streaming more Starfield. So last episode we kind of went through and got Barrett. This episode I think we're going to do some side quest stuff maybe. But first, we're going to start everything out with Sarah. We're going to finish that quest with her and go to Paradiso.
I hope it feels that way for you too.
Because we will need a couple other people in our party to do this. To do some missions, so... Ooh, we got that right off the bat. With that in mind, we can actually just land here. There's probably animals and stuff here. Let's do that.
Landing site looks clean. Let's set it down.
Let's just clear this planet.
Look at this world. It's beautiful. Just beautiful.
Okay. Okay. Another one. Is sealant. Okay.
Zeroing in on anything useful?
There's some chlorine. There are some more animals. Bro, why are you trying to kill our only hope?
Good work. Allow me to say you've got the gratitude of the United Colonies for your assistance.
Whoops, I accidentally killed one of the UC operators. This should be the last one there. Ooh. Okay. I was not expecting to see different animals here. See a couple blue things over here. Hmm. Still a couple more. Okay. What other... Okay, water. I'd guess the water's that way. We might have went the wrong way here. All right, high ground to see if we can see anything. Okay, so the water was the opposite direction. I'm guessing it's probably two fish again. Better luck next time, guys. Okay, we need to get ourselves over. Xenomorphs used to scare me, but they don't. Not when you have powers. Come on. Looking for one more. Okay.
Hello, and welcome back, Mr. Tofik. I am aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer you today?
Actually, question. Usually when I come here, the shuttle takes a certain route, showing me the beauty of this world. But this time, our entries seem to take longer, and we pass by a lot more open water. Was there something wrong with our normal flight path? I heard the rumors of a ship in orbit.
Please allow me to apologize for this inconvenience. This alternate entry was required due to a meteor shower affecting the usual descent route. Nothing to worry about. To make up for this, allow me to credit your account with a 15% discount.
Your safety is our #1 priority.
Enjoy your stay, knowing you're in our capable hands.
Hope you're staying safe. We try to stay out of our guests' way, but we're always here feeding.
There he is.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with?
Hear about the distress call you sent. Actually, is Paradiso security affiliated with UC or Freestar?
Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso group pays top dollar for top-notch security. And I dare say we're some of the best in the business. We have to be out here on the fringes of the settled systems.
What sort of trouble do you run in at this resort?
Honestly, it's not as exciting as you might think most of the time. More often than not, we're just handling drunk and disorderly conduct.
Okay.
Even pirates leave us alone for the most part. I think it's because some of them actually vacation here. As long as they're not bothering anyone, we've been told not to worry about them.
Okay, I'm here about the distress call.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so?
I swear, let me know what you need me to do.
Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions.
What do you think you're dealing with?
Can't say for sure. Looks worn, but not cobbled together like a Crimson Fleet junker. Others have been saying it's some new Varun design, a gigantic battleship with hidden armaments preparing for assault, but that doesn't check out either. There's also been talk about non-human sentient life. The comms data we received might support that, but humanity's spread far and wide and no one's ever encountered anything like that. Still, first contact. Could you imagine?
They didn't respond to communications?
Not quite. It took some time, but we received a transmission. It was all, pardon the phrasing, it sounded almost alien, like nothing anyone's heard before. Clicks, distorted groans, buzzing, really disturbing sounds. Now, one of our engineers says it could just be some busted comm equipment or incompatible signals, but we're not sure. So far, no one's disembarked from the ship. No landing craft, nothing. We don't have the staff or ships to spare, otherwise we'd dock with it and attempt to board.
Okay, what kind of ship is it? Any idea?
It bears no discernible markings or allegiances to any manufacturers we're aware of. I'm hoping that doesn't mean we're dealing with some sort of new deep space threat.
Okay.
It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Okay.
Time to move on.
Can you try a different channel? Can you repeat that? Hmm.
And we're locked in.
Okay, let's see.
Something for you when you have a moment.
Good day, Captain.
Stay alert.
You're human.
Of course I'm human. I take it you were expecting something else?
It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
Your ship is unlike anything I've ever seen. What can you tell me about its design?
I don't know all the particulars, but I'll try to answer as best I can.
It's an old colony ship.
It was built long ago by our ancestors to sustain our crew over hundreds of years in space through generations of travelers. It's sturdy, fast, and spacious. That last one is important because we had to take as many supplies as possible with us on the journey and still have ample space for our crew.
What is the ship?
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world.
I'm here to help.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by, well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others.
Your communications didn't work? Why is that?
We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise.
So this gives you an idea of kind of what the how technology is kind of slated. So say if we were to send a probe to, or send a colony ship to Alpha Centauri, real life speaking, it wouldn't get there for a couple of thousand years, I don't think. Let's see, Alpha Centauri. So if we use conventional means of propulsion, we'd be talking about 19,000 and 81,000 years to get there. So say if you use something like a nuclear rocket, it'd take you 1,000 years. So essentially think of it like this. By the time that ship leaves, theoretically, the idea is a ship that would leave later on would beat it there just because of how technology goes. So that's the idea of this, is the ship left Earth 200 years ago, but technology has went so fast that humans have been able to colonize before the ship even got there. So that's the idea. How'd you survive for 200 years?
Well, the short answer is we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous.
So you know about the people on the surface?
We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans.
Incredible. 200 years. How did it take you so long to get here?
Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting.
Exactly.
I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did.
You know these other human beings, and they were here first.
Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable to communicate our intentions. As soon as we discovered them, we fully expected negotiations would be necessary. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge.
Okay.
Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships
Welcome to the
before.
Earth colony ship Constance.
Careful waving that fancy
In the
gun.
early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here.
They're strict
We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Just because our equipment's old, doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down.
How long have you been captain?
I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly.
How's your crew holding up?
A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually.
Is it difficult for being a captain for a colony ship?
Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made.
So you could use some help with your situation.
Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
What's wrong with your communication system?
We suspect that our equipment is woefully... In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so we even attempted communicating with lights and sounds. Something we... If anything, it may have so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us.
Why not find another planet?
Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there.
True.
And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet.
They claim this planet. How could others settle here?
When we left Earth, there were no claims to planets this far out into space. We had assumed that we were the only ones attempting a generational journey such as this, meaning that they...
True.
Regardless, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, did manage to file a charter for this planet's first colony, to be named New Jamestown. According to his records, no one took it seriously when he filed it, so likely it was either ignored or the records were lost to the ages. Given humanity's lack of interest in colonizing the far reaches of space at the time, it shouldn't have been a problem.
Maybe.
Here we are now.
We might ask the UC.
Excellent. Make no mistake, this is our planet, and we intend for them to see this our way. So, speak with their leadership and see if you can negotiate a solution on our behalf. Report back to me and let me know what they say.
Why not just sit on the other side of it?
We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world.
Yeah, but no promises.
Now, it makes little sense to give up before you try.
I want to make a hard save because I want to know what's in this.
Make sure you check every entry. There might be some embedded data we could use to our advantage.
this?
That sounds so familiar. Something from history slates that I read. I feel I should know who this person is, but somehow it's escaped my memory. As we were landing, I picked up a message from Aja. Before we go to the ceremony, I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me this is exactly what you want.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Ah, I just melt when I hear you say things like that to me. I love you, and I'm forever thankful to have someone as amazing as you in my life. Now come on.
Yes.
Aja is waiting for us. But first, we should probably say something to my mother.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers. Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Hey.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
But you guys are back in the Stone Age.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
I think those are better. I'm gonna look at this again. So it goes advanced first. Advanced, refined. It's refined. Let's calibrate this tier 2. Those are both top of the line.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on out.
I have lived my entire life in the Constant.
Just stay out of trouble.
Thank you.
It definitely takes a special type of person to live their entire life, birth to death, aboard a single ship traveling through space.
What else is out there?
Oh, wow, you're new? Weird. Okay, wasn't expecting this. I guess I should introduce myself?
I'm Janet. What's up? You?
I just wanted to introduce myself to everyone.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, I guess. I could take a break to chat if you want.
What do you do here?
Certainly not what I want to do.
Remember that. You may need to elaborate.
I mean, I hate this job, and there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm the cultivation manager. Fancy words for farmer and fertilizer collector. I didn't have a choice. Most people don't. You get a job, and that's it. Like, I'm great at what I do, but I would enjoy doing literally anything else. Meanwhile, my sister Julia, she gets to hang out with kids all day and watch movies. The kids I couldn't care less about, but she doesn't even care about Earth culture. Ugh.
What is it like living on a colony ship?
Oh my god, it's terrible. Every day.
You know what? I'm good.
Seriously, although now that we're here. So you've met. Julie and I were actually triplets with our sister Jen, but the ship ran out of one of her medications and she didn't make it. Sucks, but it is what it is. We only have so many supply. Anyway, it happened a long time. Bye.
Wow. I've heard about you.
Hey there.
I wonder what it's like out there, beyond our little community.
Hi there. Oh. Huh. Nice to meet you. And that's true. Right? We've been Anyway, sorry for freezing up before. I'm Daisuke, the ship's Not really. Things don't work that way here. It's not a shop like you hear about it. Almost everything is communal or shared. So when that happens, mostly, I just keep... We manage. I know back on Earth. But here, this is it. It works out for the most. Good seeing you.
Sure is nice to know there are other people.
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship?
We have gravity drive technology. I could talk in depth about the physics of all of it.
Oh, I've heard of this technology, but always believed it was theoretical in nature.
Well, it's not.
Maybe we can talk about it in more detail later. I'm sure you have more pressing matters to handle. I've waited this long. What's a little longer, eh? Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today.
Okay, there's something else I need to talk to you about.
Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend.
If your predecessor knew about grav drives, why didn't they wait for it instead of setting out?
Great question. I do not know for sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work, or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way.
What do you do, Chief Engineer?
Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubblegum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on and the ship flying.
The ship that's old. Do you have any good heroic engineer stories?
Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here. Yes! So many! Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time.
No terraform, but there are colonies on inhospitable planets. We just use happy units and suits.
I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there.
No sentient life as far as we can tell, but plenty of diverse living creatures.
Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right.
Well, not everyone has ships, but many people do.
I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pooling together nearly all of their financial resources. Thank you for... So long!
Capacitor NCC 1701 is activated. And to think, all this time we thought we were alone.
There's so much more to learn about now.
People always appreciate a good engineer, whether they know it or not.
You're under arrest. I knew. Got a live one here. ECS constant security. Give up or face the consequences.
That wasn't what I thought it was.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do. We got strict rules around here. They're strict. For a reason.
Down here.
Okay, okay. Let's meet on the next time you save us all from a terrible laundry accident.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change it.
Okay, there we go.
The engines.
I'm sure they're sad to see you go.
Just one quiet day. What?
Oh, Paradiso is absolutely beautiful. Can you possibly imagine a more tranquil place for a resort?
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep the peace.
Hi there.
I'm here to satisfy your needs. I hope you'll
Oh, this looks like a lovely place for a stay. Might also be the perfect time to stop for some food or a tranquility. Where should we begin? When you have a moment.
It's my pleasure to make sure I...
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment?
I'm on important business.
I really don't, and I can't have you barging in on the executives while they're working. So if you need something, you can talk to me. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board?
What can you tell me about the board members?
What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say.
What were everyone's thoughts when the ECS constants show up?
People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business.
What's it like for... Okay, I'm ready.
Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Your safety is our number one priority.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet. Not
You're
all
lucky I'm not like the other board members, lazing about the beaches without a care in the universe.
Are there really only 3 members?
No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time lazing on the beach or gallivanting off-world. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine.
I understand you're the man I need to talk about the strange ship in orbit.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about.
Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens!
That's despicable. You know it's not true.
Despicable? Hardly. Just a backup plan in case we can't get them to leave. But you're right. No one's going to buy aliens. Remind me to fire the marketing team. So, tell me, what's the actual deal with this massive eyesore of a ship, besides scaring people away?
It's a generation ship full of colonists from Earth here after a 200-year journey.
That's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do.
Why do I have to buy the grav drive?
It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You.
Why can't they just settle on the other side of the planet or something?
We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they may come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance.
These are human beings and you're worried about landscaping? That's absurd.
Well, absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain?
What if, after all this, they continue to insist their claim to this planet predates yours?
They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Freestar Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter's official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave. Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
I know this was a difficult decision, but if it's any consolation,
It was a hard decision.
right choice. Compared to the destruction of their vessel and relegating them to a life of servitude, I'd say this is the best chance they've got.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them.
Interested in?
No major incidents in a while.
Hold on.
Enjoy your stay.
It's definitely having me go back on the ship, but I just don't know where Hope Tech is. I don't think I've been to Hope Tech.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that.
Where to next?
Engines firing. Here we go. We're locking into orbit now. Grav drive spinning down. Welcome to the Freestar Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship. And that's it. You're cleared to land at Hopetown.
I have things for you.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it.
Excuse me. A little passport here.
I remember meeting Ron Hope once. Idealistic and perhaps a bit of a dreamer. But you have to admire what he's accomplished.
All right, Adela. Deep breath. Oh, God.
You don't like things are going well.
I'm just great. Grand, really. When I signed on to be a freight captain, I was expecting long hours and dull routes. And now I'm a hair away from being executed. Or worse.
I'm Captain 2, us captains need to stick together.
You are sincerely the answer to my prayers. So, I fly a rust bucket called the Markab for a small shipping line. It just started, really. We do bulk shipping, boring stuff like actuators and seed stock and minerals. Have you ever had a standard, boring job just blow up in your face?
A lot of people just use people like us without giving a shit about us.
A week ago, I would have said something different, but yes, absolutely. So, I just got assigned to the Markab. The first shipment? Slag steel. Nothing special. As soon as I left Neon and got scanned, things got crazy. Spacers, Freestar security, the works. Everyone demanding I power down, hand over the contraband, or sometimes just firing first. I skipped the system, ditched the cargo, and have been running ever since.
So what were you actually shipping?
I don't know. I was just flying for my life. But some bad people want it.
It's really terrible.
It gets even worse. A tracker just landed and I just know he's hunting a bounty. Me. But the trick is, everyone knows the ship. But my info isn't in the database yet. All they got is my last name, Fahim. So if you go into the pit stop and claim you're Captain Fahim of the Markab, maybe you can deal with the tracker?
Tracker.
A member of the Trackers Alliance. You know, Bang Bang Dead or Alive bounty hunters?
How am I supposed to deal with the tracker?
I don't know. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but he may not give you any choice.
How do they only know your name?
The company is, well, a real train wreck. I'm amazed they even have my last name on file. For once, working for such a dump is a good thing.
Okay.
You are the best. He's the one with the cowboy hat. Just stay safe.
Yes. What?
Something you might be interested in. Ron Hope certainly embodies the saying, spared no expense.
Keep an eye on your valuables. If you can't protect your own,
Oh, no. That wouldn't work. We could save valuable weight if we got rid of the pilot seat. Maybe an ottoman?
You're an expert in grab drives. Those ship parts. I need to ask for a favor.
Sure. That sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time.
Oliver Campbell sent me. I'm here about a grab drive for an old colony ship.
Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grab drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grab drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape too. Parts not cheap though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor and it's yours.
Maybe we can find a lower that price a bit.
It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grab drives are.
Surely the profit you make doesn't compare to the freedom you'll be giving these people.
As much as I'd love to, I just don't know if I...
You've had the old part for how long and no one has offered to buy it?
True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps this is that right time.
There's no reason for us to have a problem, is there?
You don't know what you're talking about. You know, I have to make a living too. And hope... Wait, we still have business to discuss.
I forgot to use the old hand thingamajig.
Ron Hope certainly embodies the saying, spared no expense.
Howdy. Oh, Hope Tech needs brave new innovations. We're so much more than... Sure. Oh, Oliver sent it. So grab drives, parts not cheap though. It's pretty. True. This isn't getting us. There's nothing to talk about. You know.
Where did my...
Wait, we still have business to...
I thought it works with that. Okay, I'll have to use a persuasion thing. I thought it did.
Ron Hope certainly embodies the saying, spared no expense.
Just 3 more to go.
Oh, no. Sure. Oh, Oliver sent it. So grab drive, parts not cheap. It's pretty. As much as I'd love. True. That's what I'm hoping. Sorry. You know, Wait! We still have business to...
I'm getting this. I'm not gonna sit here and pay 40,000 credits for this. Not happening.
Ron Hope certainly embodies the saying, spared no expense.
We could save valuable weight. Sure. Oh. Oliver sent it. So grab drive. Parts not cheap though. It's pretty big. Perhaps not. But I'm not sure about karma, but you're not wrong. It would be generous and they'd likely show their gratitude in some beneficial way. Tell you what. Sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work. You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready. Pleasure working with you.
Barrett can just go to... Oh. Sorry.
We'd be dust except for the factory. Off-worlders. Nothing good ever comes from them.
If you're looking to make a purchase, I don't handle that personally. I don't believe we have a meeting scheduled. You must be looking for someone else.
Enjoy your visit to Hope Tech. If you'll excuse me, I am on duty.
It's good to be back on board.
All right.
Green lights on outer hatch. We're docked.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Captain, do you require my assistance?
Careful waving that fancy gun around.
Just because our
We were never trained to address threats.
Now that you're here, I can finally give. Until next time.
These are exciting times.
Hey.
The Constant is a peaceful ship.
We've got strict rules around here. They're strict for a reason.
If the other colonists knew how many times the Constant almost came apart at the seams. Whew. Well, thankfully, I never let it.
I'm supposed to help you prep the ship for a grav drive.
What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work?
Ready as can be.
Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
I was not paying attention to that. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator.
I've lived my entire...
To the...
Life in the...
Hold on, what was it? Reroute the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Turbo pump port to the cryogenic.
Not sure how else to live.
Turn the plasma runoff inhibitor to 5%.
And to think, all this time we fought.
What was the last one? Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly.
Looks like everything is good to go. Well, you're in.
Hey there. Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before.
Now that we know what's out there.
There we go. The grav drive is installed. You should be all set now.
Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done.
Where will you go now?
We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Purima 2 here. Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
There's so much to learn about now.
Now that we know there are other people out there, we need to be more prepared for trouble.
You're lucky we're under orders not to.
What are you talking about? I gave your ship grav drive and I paid for it.
Wow, I've heard about you, but
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Now that we know there are other people out there.
All right, there we go.
Know when you're ready to launch.
All right, let's go do everything with Sarah to round out the episode.
Pestering the captain, right, Cora?
Pester? You think I'm a pest?
Oh, never.
Actually, we'll leave everything with Sarah for tomorrow.
Nice to the crew, too.
Of course.
Because this obviously will be Friday.
Don't you always...
tie the knot with Sarah tomorrow. So thanks for hanging out. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.